My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Diamond Select Marvel Carnage figure. Now this is the Marvel Select version of Carnage, and I must say, really happy I have this guy in hand. I actually missed out on his first issue. This is actually a reissue of Carnage, which I'm really glad that I finally have this figure. Spinning it off to the side, we have a really lovely image of Carnage up there. You can see just a fantastic artwork right there. And then on the back we do have a picture of Carnage with interchangeable parts, and we'll get more into that later. His bio says, Cletus Cassidy was a serial killer serving a life sentence on Rikers Island prison. When he was assigned Eddie Brock as a cellmate, Brock, the former villain turned vigilante known as Venom, was freed by his symbiotic alien partner. And in the chaos, the symbiote left behind its offspring, a new symbiote that bonded with Cassidy. The newly empowered Cassidy broke out and went on a killing spree, writing carnage on each crime scene, and it took a combined power of Spider-Man and Venom to defeat him. Teaming up with other metahumans, Carnage next tried to take over New York. It took an even larger force to stop him. Believing in only chaos and bloodshed, Carnage has escaped from every prison he's ever been placed in, and each time has escaped, there has been an incarnation of Spider-Man or Venom there to stop him. This 7-inch scale figure features multiple interchangeable parts for a variety of display options, and it says the figure is sculpted and painted by John St. John. And like I said, we have an image of Carnage right here with the different heads, different parts. Be on the lookout for Zombie Magneto and Cable. So really happy I have this guy in hand. What I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up his review. So let's get him out of the box and let's have some fun with Carnage, shall we? And so here we have Carnage posing out of the packaging. Before we get onto the figure, let's actually go have a 360 of this guy. I'm going to say right off the bat, I really love this figure. This is a really fantastic looking figure, and I just love his sculpt and all the details they put into this figure. This isn't the way he came out of the packaging. Out of the packaging, he did come with the Cletus Cassidy head, and we'll go more onto that when we go into his details. Let's actually put his arms down. So just a really nice figure. And before we actually go on to his actual review, let's actually get a quick comparison, shall we? Let's move him off to the side really fast. And let's bring out the Marvel Legends Carnage. And I know it's really hard to compare a Diamond Select figure with a Marvel Legends figure because they are two different companies aimed at two different target audiences. But if you're a collector and you're wondering which Carnage you should go with, definitely track down this Carnage, because he is a much better figure. I mean, this is a really nice Carnage, but he brings so much more to the table. And let's actually get him off camera so we can go on to the rest of this guy's review. Now, like I said, he does come with an alternate set of heads, hands, accessories, all that good stuff, and we'll go more into that in a little bit. But just really nice figure. I really don't know where to start on him, so I guess we'll go on to his heads first. Like I said, this isn't the head that he came with. He actually did come standard with this Cletus Cassidy head. And let's actually move Carnage off to screen for a moment. Now, this isn't the head that I'm going to have my Carnage displayed with. For the life of me, I don't know anybody who would display Carnage with the Cletus Cassidy head, and you can see there's a huge paint defect on mine right there. Still a nice display option if you buy multiples. I guess you can have multiple Carnages, different forms, I guess. He also does come with this head. I'm not familiar with this head, but I believe that this is the Marvel, the Ultimate Universe Carnage. And he is just a creepy looking guy in the Ultimate Universe. I mean, you can see the eyes trail almost all the way to the back of his head. That is so very cool. But for me, I stick with a classic Carnage head, and let me actually pull this off one moment. It's gonna be really fast for you guys, but it's gonna take me let's see if I can't do that on camera actually. There we go. Much easier than I thought. But we do have the classic Carnage head sculpt, and unfortunately, this is not, well, it is sculpted, but it's not open. The plastic is in there, so it really isn't like this one where it's an open gap like that. And I just dropped the Marvel Legends Carnage on the floor, but anyway, you can see the differences in these two heads. Which one you want to display is up to you. Me, personally, I like this Carnage head. And switching them on and off, it's really easy. It's just this ball peg. Let's see if I can't put one of these heads on. It does take a little bit of effort. Okay, there we go. And once it's on, it stays on. You're not going to have any problems getting it with it falling off. I find that the head is a little difficult to take on and off. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. We got the Cletus Cassidy head off, and we're going to put the stand... Well, I'm guessing this is a more iconic Carnage head, so we'll call it Carnage Iconic Head. You can see a lot of range in that. But before we actually go on to his articulation, let's actually show off his accessories, more of his accessories, I should say. He does come with 4 really long tendrils, or tentacles, or whatever you want to call them. And they all have pegs that you can peg in different parts of his body, and I'll show that off in a minute. And then we also do get 5 of these different tendrils. I'm trying to get them all on screen at once, but we do get 5 of them. There's 5 of these ones and 4 of the really long ones, and they just attach at different parts of his body. Like there's a port right up here, right on his shoulder. There's 3 on the back. We have 1 here, here, and right up here. And then we have 2 on his forearms right here. And if you want to put them on, it's just as simple as pegging them in. And they do take a little bit of effort to get them actually in there. At least on mine, this one really doesn't want to go in there. Let's actually find a different... Let's get this really crazy looking one and peg that onto his back right here. Let's get this one, and let's say we'll peg it onto his shoulder right here. It doesn't really want to peg on properly, so I guess we'll put it somewhere on his back, like right here. And it really doesn't want to, it's fighting me, it doesn't want to go into that port, huh? Get in there, you're making a fool of me on my own review. Let's throw that one down for a little bit. These tendrils are making a fool of me. There we go. We got another one in. And then we'll put this one... Let's put this one on his arm, actually. And you can just see how this figure actually looks after you get all these tendrils and attachments on. And he just looks so incredible when you actually get these tendrils into his body. And let's zoom out. And you can see the complete Carnage here. Really menacing looking. I just love all these different attachments that you can put on them. Let's actually get this one in. There we go. And you can see you can mix and match them. Also, you can move this one up here. You can take these really long ones, stick it in the back somewhere. I can't find the hole. Ah, there it is. Like I said, you can just stick them, mix and match the way you feel you want your Carnage to look. So Carnage actually has a lot of display options. You can see, let's get some of these off so it looks like he's attacking 4 different people at once, because Carnage can do that. Absolutely, Carnage could attack 4 different people at once. And that just looks like That looks awesome. It looks like he's shooting them out, trying to spike someone, because that's really something Carnage would do. And we'll just take these off for right now. And then we'll go on to his final accessories, which are actually hand attachments. We get this really sword-looking, really deadly-looking weapon, and then we get this scythe weapon. So really cool weapons, and to switch them out, you just basically pull his hands out of the pegs, like so, and attach the new weapon hand on that joint, and as you can see, it actually makes him look that much more insanely cool. And let's actually put a tendril on him like that. That looks really awesome. So we can pull that one off, and let's actually pull this hand off. The hands do seem to get loose the more you interchange them, so I really wouldn't recommend doing it too much. And my goodness, he just looks so threatening like this. Not a creature you would want to fight in a dark alley. Just really, really cool. I actually like this Carnage. This is probably one of my favorite figures that I own right now. Pulling this hand off. And we'll attach his regular hand here so we can go on to his articulation. For his articulation, he does have a ball jointed head. He can look up, down, left and right, side to side, bobble, all that good stuff on that ball joint. Arms on a ball hinge go out. They do a full 360, not at all hindered by anything. They swivel at the bicep, single jointed at the elbow, and if you have the weapon hands, they will only swivel. So be aware that weapon hands, you only get a swivel. If you have his standard hands, you do get a swivel and a hinge, which the hinge works wonderfully. And I didn't even show off this hand. His hand has like these spikes coming out of them. That's really cool. I can dig it. I dig Carnage. He does have a torso joint which works beautifully. It moves back and forth, side to side, also spins. Does he have his waist joint? He does. He has a waist swivel too. Legs go forward, back, and out to about that far. He swivels at the thigh, double jointed in the knee. No kind of boot swivel because he doesn't need it, but his legs do pivot forward and back, as well as side to side. So really nice articulation on Carnage. And then before we wrap up his review, I will actually like to go into some of his detail, because what you see right here is sculpted detail. He has a lot of details sculpted into him, and it's just really amazing at what they were able to do. I wanted to save the details for last because I know normally that's one of the first things I do. Bring Carnage to the forefront here. You can see all this red paint, red and black paint. It's just really well done. And then the sculpting on it is just beautiful. Even right here, it looks like this symbiote is alive, and that's the way it should be. They did a really wonderful job on this Carnage. And again, the symbiote looks like it's alive. You can see it's not symmetrical. It's a little chaotic, which I really like it. Carnage is all about the chaos. Just beautiful, well done figure. And I really do like this figure. So what I'm going to do now is get Carnage posed for my final thoughts and find a way to display him, and then we'll go on to my final thoughts. So sit tight, everyone. And here we do have Carnage posed for my final thoughts. I think originally I said that he had 3 ports on his back. He actually has 4. My bad. But anyway, really fantastic figure, and I just thought that there was another port right there, but it's not. I'm just seeing things at this point. But anyway, really well done figure, and I cannot do anything but recommend this guy if you're a Marvel fan. If you're a Marvel Select fan, Marvel Legends fan, fan of Carnage, fan of Spider-Man, if you do not own this figure, find a way to get hold of this guy, because this is an absolutely amazing figure, and he might actually make the top 10 of my figure list this year. If you're looking for Carnage, he is being reissued in comic book stores and online retails. I picked mine up on Big Bad Toy Store for about $28 shipped. Phenomenal deal, seeing as how some comic book stores I've seen already raise his price up to $50. That's insane. But if you can track this guy down and get him at a reasonable price, I really recommend you do so. He is a fantastic figure. He'll look good at any display you put him in, and he makes such a great shelf piece that I might just have him displayed somewhere in my house, and when somebody comes by, they'll say, "Oh, what's that? Oh, that's my really awesome Carnage figure. You want to take a look?" But anyway, that's all for this review, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm King of Dragons 5000 saying don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, tell me other figures you would like to see me review. If there's room for them in my collection, I will review them. If not, I'm sorry guys, but I'm like awestruck with this guy. I'm so sorry about that. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Once again, I'm King of Dragons 5000, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.
My